8 Limbs of Recovery, Addiction Healing Through Yoga. Welcome. 8 Limbs of Recovery is designed for individuals seeking to deepen their understanding of personal growth, recovery, and spiritual development through the combined philosophies of the 8 Limbs of Yoga and the 12 Steps of Recovery. It is ideal for those in recovery from addiction, as well as anyone interested in integrating mindfulness, yoga, and the spiritual principles of the 12 steps into their healing journey. Additionally, this course is beneficial for yoga practitioners, recovery coaches, therapists, or anyone committed to exploring holistic approaches to emotional well-being, self-realization, and sustainable personal transformation. Whether you are new to yoga or recovery, or have prior experience in either, this course offers valuable insights and practical tools for fostering growth, healing, and lasting change. Hi, I'm Danielle Schwartz, and I'll be your guide. Through my personal experiences in recovery and my devotion to yoga, I've spent countless hours researching the connection of mindfulness and its impact on successful addiction recovery. I have over 1,000 hours of training in various classifications of yoga and Ayurveda, and am a 500 RYT registered yoga professional. I'm passionate about guiding others to discover their own personal strengths and finding balance within their lives. Why we're here. Let's start with understanding. We're here to understand the core principles. You will gain a deep understanding of the 8 limbs of yoga and the 12 steps of recovery, identifying key concepts, practices, and philosophies of both traditions. Integrate spiritual practices. You will be able to integrate the spiritual principles of the 12 steps with the practices of the 8 limbs of yoga to enhance personal growth and recovery in your own life. Cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness. You will develop the ability to practice mindfulness and self-reflection through yoga and meditation techniques, fostering greater awareness of your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional patterns. Strengthen your transformation. You will cultivate resilience, self-discipline, and inner peace by applying the transformative tools from both the 12 steps and the 8 limbs of yoga, promoting sustainable personal growth and healing. Finally, personal success. You will be equipped to design a personalized recovery practice that incorporates elements from both the 8 limbs of yoga and the 12 steps, supporting ongoing healing, balance, and well-being. What to expect. Information. Each lecture will include a narrated set of slides discussing in depth a step and its correlation to a limb of yoga. Guidance. A guided healing activity is included for each section with methods including yoga and meditation. Practice. An opportunity for you to further your investigation into your own space within the 12 steps and the 8 limbs. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. So let's get started. Each lecture will introduce a new step from the 12 steps of recovery. This is why we will have 12 additional modules to this program, one for each step. Additionally, each of those lectures will introduce a limb from the 8 limbs of yoga. Finally, each lecture will then introduce the correlation between the step and the limb that have been provided. Following are slides that integrate the step with the limb and a brief connection description. Of course, each module will go much further in depth between the connections and provide the necessary tools on how to integrate them into your life. So let's take a quick look at the steps and the 8 limbs of yoga. Step 1, admit we are powerless over our addiction and that our lives have become unmanageable. Yama, it's ethical restraints. Step 1 reflects the necessity of acknowledging limitations and ethical boundaries, similar to the yamas, which guide individuals to live with integrity and recognize their inner conflicts. Step 2, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Niyama, personal observances. The recognition of a higher power is aligned with the niyamas, which encourage personal discipline and trust in a greater universal force. Both focus on surrendering to a higher wisdom or guidance. Step 3, make a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. The decision to surrender one's life mirrors the practice of detaching from external distractions, pratyahara, redirecting attention inward and aligning with a higher purpose. Step 4, make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Dharana, concentration. Step 4 encourages self-reflection, while dharana focuses on concentration, fostering a deep, focused awareness of the self to bring clarity and insight. Step 5, admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Dhyana, meditation. The process of admitting one's faults and reflecting on them aligns with the meditative aspect of dhyana, which involves continuous introspection and awareness. Both encourage the release of guilt and finding peace. Step 6, be entirely ready to have God remove all defects of character. Samyama, union of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Step 6 and the samyama in yoga both involve readiness for transformation, surrender, purification, and the attainment of a higher state of clarity and insight. Step 7, humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender to a higher being. Both Step 7 and Ishvara involve a deep process of humility, surrender, and faith in a higher power. Step 8, Make a list of all the persons whom we have harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. Svadhyaya, self-study. Both step 8 and Svadhyaya involve deep processes of self-awareness, accountability, and personal growth. Step 9. Make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Asana, physical postures. Just as asana purifies the body, step 9 purifies relationships. Both processes require courage, discipline, and balance, offering healing through direct action and presence. Step 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we are wrong, promptly admit it. Pranayama, breathing exercises. Ongoing self-inventory, like pranayama, requires ongoing attention and mindfulness. Both focus on staying in the moment and adjusting when necessary for inner balance. Step 11. Seek through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Dhyana, meditation. Step 11 directly aligns with dhyana, the practice of meditation. Both emphasize cultivating a deep connection with the divine and seeking clarity for spiritual guidance. And finally, step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we try to carry this message to others in need of recovery and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Samadhi, enlightenment or bliss. Step 12 signifies the achievement of spiritual awakening, akin to samadhi, or enlightenment in unity with the divine or experience. Both emphasize the sharing of one's transformation with others. Take action. We encourage you to go through the course in order of the steps. In each section, please complete the information lecture first, then the guidance activity, followed by the optional personal practice. Additionally, it may benefit you to complete one section per week to give yourself time to process the information provided. The 12 steps of recovery and the 8 limbs of yoga are both transformative paths to healing and spiritual growth. While the 12 steps provide a structured approach for overcoming addiction and finding recovery through surrender and self-awareness, the 8 limbs of yoga offer a holistic philosophy of physical, mental, and spiritual discipline. Both share common themes of personal transformation, ethical conduct, mindfulness, humility, and connection to a higher power. By integrating the principles of the 12 steps with the practices of yoga, you can experience a comprehensive approach to recovery, self-realization, and inner peace. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in our first module for step 1.